Well, here we are stuck in traffic again. So why don't we talk about some horsepower? Alright guys, so this is a video very much in the making. I've had this thing dyno-tuned for almost a year now. I know I'm a terrible person for taking this long, but some of the footage got corrupted, and I just kind of got, I don't know what's the word, deflated about it. But I mean, enough of you guys have been asking me about on my other videos, on Instagram, on my forum, what's that, Indian Nation forum or Indian Motorcycle forum, whatever it is. Lots of questions on there, so I figured I might as well put the video out, and at least that way I can reference guys to what I've done on my bike and what you can expect with my setup, at least in my experience, right? You might not get the same numbers, but hey, this is what I got. So what I've ended up doing to this bike is I've done the Vance Hines High Output Genades, a 2-in-2 full exhaust system. I've done a Trask Intake, and I've also done a Dyno Tune. Now that Dyno Tune was pretty good. I had some fuel issues, some dead spots, and Dyno they were really great to deal with, honestly. They didn't have my exact tune on the website for my bike, but I sent them my mods and they had something for me right away. So kudos to them, great customer service. But even then, with a can tune, you're still gonna have, you know, they're gonna dyno tune an engine, find the horsepower numbers, and then dial it back a bit because they don't want people blowing up their motors, which makes sense, right? Nobody wants to fucking spend that kind of money and blow up the motor. So I opted going to two-wheel drive dyno in Kirkland, Washington, which was a little bit of a trip for me, but well worth it. And you know, he was able to really adjust my fuel curve, really adjust the throttle curve, smooth it out, made it really nice to ride. So if you remember from my first video, which I'll link somewhere, maybe I'll put it up in the cards at the top there, the stock Dyno Run after break-in, which was like 800 kilometers for me, bone stock. I'm at sea level. I don't remember it was like a November day, so it was cool. I made around 75 or 76 horsepower, bone stock to the wheel, which I thought was a little low. Indian's claiming 100, so a 25% drivetrain loss. I mean, that's something you kind of expect to see in a heavily modified truck, like big tires, transfer case, transmission, four-wheel drive. Not in a freaking direct, right, you know, motorcycle. That's 10% maybe. But anyways, nonetheless, I saw 75 horsepower. You know what? Let's take a look at it right now. I know there's a video up, but let's take a look. That excites me. You'll be watching it again. I don't have dyno runs of each individual part I did. I ended up doing the intake first because that came through. I had a warranty issue with the exhaust, so I had to wait a bit. But there is a noticeable intake noise with the Trask Intake. You can really hear the bike open up. When you open up, you hear that intake. So just beware of that if you do swap out your intake. And then I did the exhaust. And then I did the stock, or I did a can tune from Dyno Jet, and here's that Dyno Run. So that one netted me about 86 horsepower to the wheel, I believe. And like I said, there's a little bit of rideability issues with that tune. Some flat spots. You could be in the RPM range, you kind of felt the bike go flat. And actually talking to Nels, that two-wheel drive tuner, he said I was lean across the board about 15%. So he richened it up. He did a good 2 hours on the bike and got it running just so good. And I think the final numbers were, wow, you know what? Let's watch this first. Here's that final Dyno Run. I don't know if you can hear it, but there is a little bit of a difference there. You can hear it, the engine picks up a bit. So I think we ended up with, I'd have to check the numbers again, 96, 97 horsepower and 72 foot-pounds of the wheel. Not too bad for, you know, a little bit of work. So that, for me, what I paid was $140 for the intake. I paid $800 for the exhaust. I paid $300 for the tuner, which came with maps. And then I paid another $299 for a custom dyno tune. So there's a bit of money there, investment. But, I mean, this modified Scout over stocks is not even comparable. It is night and day in both power, sheer brutality, and just rideability. It's so much smoother now. The throttle just rolls on. There's no dead spots. It just pulls in every gear and pretty much every RPM. I mean, you're not going to get that low end torque like the 114 Harley, but man, when you get above 3,000 RPM, like this is what I cruise at. Second gear, 3,000, 3,500. This is like, we're doing about 60. That's like 30 miles an hour in town. That's my cruise. And from there, it just picks up and goes. You can hear that intake open up. So guys, that's what I did. I run a 91 octane in my bike, and I'm pretty much at sea level here. So if you're at sea level, run that kind of octane with this bike and those parts, that's probably what you can expect to see. Again, your results might vary, but don't settle for that canned tune. Maybe fuel moto's different. I didn't use fuel moto. I did something different. When I bought my stuff, I didn't know about fuel moto. You know, if I had known, I probably would have gone with them. But anyways, guys, we'll talk to you later.